All right. So I know it's been a minute. I got a little sick over the weekend, okay? I can't blame myself. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. But I know I've been also slowing down on my videos. I haven't been putting out as many videos as I said I would be, okay? And it hasn't been too many videos. And I'm going to start dropping them more consistently. I guarantee you. After this week, or maybe later this week, this will not be the last video you see me this week. Okay, I don't even know if I said that right, but it's going to be more consistent after this week, okay? Just bear with me. So, we're talking about One Piece, just like we do every week. This is the only video after I've been sick. I'm still kind of sick, by the way. It's the only video I've had the energy to make, okay? For a good reason, because this chapter was pretty good. As we see, starts off where it left off last time. Nico Robin and Chopper hiding Saul's beard, okay? Robin, the flames are lit, okay? She can't hold herself back anymore, as she says. These assholes running around Elbaf, threatening the children, threatening the legacy of O'Hara, as you see Somers say. They're dangling the threat of burning down the libraries and also holding the kids hostage and the kids' lives. They're dangling those threats over the heads of the leader. Okay, Chief Ja Rule, okay, Chief Ja Rule. He is in a perplexing situation. That nigga, he doesn't know what to do, okay? He doesn't know what to do. Should he lean left or lean right? He doesn't know. He's sitting there dumbfounded. And you got these kids, it's going to be no big deal. And next thing you know, she's scared as shit. Okay, she tried to be brave. She can't be, she can only be so fucking brave, right? But I feel like this kid giving me Luffy vibes. I don't know why, but she's giving me Luffy vibes. The way she's just like leaving everything up to the world, like universe, like, hey, I'm just living on a whim. It doesn't matter. We're going to be good. I know something's going to happen. She's a dreamer, right? The kid sounds like a dreamer. Okay? We know that's what Luffy is. But I want to say, right, the fact that Robin gets a fight in this chapter, it might not be the best fight, but isn't this what y'all want? Y'all want a moment, something. Y'all want something. Y'all got something now. Robin fights and makes a stand against Summers because Summers is trying to really he's doing too much, okay? He's threatening to kill people. He's going to kill Robin if he gets the chance, right? So he doesn't care. They're trying to wipe out their history and their culture, as you see in this panel right here. And if they do this, this would make Elbaf have to submit to them. And then it would also enable and ensure the future of Elbaf to be stunted in the same way as the future of the rest of the world has been, right? The rest of the world don't know their history. They don't know their past. They don't know anything about that. Elbaf does. Now, what does this mean? Like, we know there's a lot of citizens in Elbaf. There's a lot of people, a lot of residents. How much knowledge do they have of the ancient world? Do they know what the world government truly is this whole time? Is that why the majority of Elbaf doesn't want to fuck with them? But that will also make you think about the giants that do work for the world government. Why do they do that? Some of them, it seems like they work for the world government out of their own free will. Some of them might be due to circumstance, right? Like slavery or something like that. But a lot of them seem to work on their own free will. So that kind of brings that into question a little bit. So I don't know if Oda is going to do a little bit of like recontextualization for some of this, or are we just going to finally get like a deeper explanation about the giants and their people and how they've been living this whole time? Because we know in the past they used to be like known as this feared race of people, this warmongering people who just they're basically trying to just kill everybody. That's what it seemed like, the way they were depicted, until the late years of One Piece, around before One Piece started. And since we've been seeing One Piece in motion, now we know them to be the people who they stated themselves. They still have this feared power. They're still like known as the warrior race of people, but they kind of stay to themselves now. They stay on the island of Elbaf, with the exception of, like I said earlier, the few giants that don't stay on Elbaf and might be Marines. Other than that, we've only seen Dory and Bragi on their own island, settling their own dispute that they've been doing for a long time. Other people, they've been Marines. or Saul. Saul was an ex-Marine. Why did he even work for the Marines in the first place? He's a grown-ass man who knows clear. I'm sure he knows the history for a fact, like being the person he is. He was with O'Hara. Why would he work for the world government in the first place? Was it are we going to get an explanation on that? Did Saul work for the world government because secretly he was trying to expose or find out more, like a double agent type of situation? I don't know. Because when I think about it more and more, it starts to not make sense why some of the giants would work for the Marines unless they were just like stupid. You know what I mean? Unless they were just stupid and got inspired and believed all the shit the Marines said, despite growing up with the real truth here on Elbaf. It doesn't make sense. Well, maybe the truth that they have doesn't explicitly say that the world government is the bad person, but that still wouldn't make sense. Like, you know who won the Void Century War. We know the government took over. I'm sure they know about Joy Boy too. And Nika. Okay, they obviously know about Nika, right? But I'm digressing, right? So Robin's breaking Saul's back, fucking him up, okay? If this was a normal person, he would have been dead. He's getting put like in a fucking backbreaker, and his arms are getting clutched and probably his shoulders getting dislocated. Chopper's staring at this shit like, God damn, like, this shit's intense. Robin's fucking him up. Okay, now they're wondering like, yo, Robin, what are you doing? I guess she jumped off the map. You know, she did jump off the map already in this panel. So yeah, we see them jump off. He's screaming. He's like, Robin, what are you doing? He's yelling that shit out loud. They don't know it's a clone, because as we see later, it is a clone. She gets pierced by Summer's ability. He can make the spikes from anywhere in his body, which is pretty cool, right? It's good for us to see this shit finally. So he's really like, don't touch me, anti-touch man, okay? You can't touch him. He has so many spikes, and he's kind of strong and shit too. So yeah, they see what the hell happened. He floats back up like Jesus on a cross, held by the thorns and shit. You know, he's on some Jesus shit, man. He got the thorns and he's floating with his arms stretched out. I think Oda did that on purpose, like Jesus ascending back to Elbaf or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, this bitch is ugly, right? Agni, she's ugly. She's crying ugly. And she's getting made, she's about to get made to like cut the school, burn the school down. My bad, I said cut because of this right here, right? Let me digress later. I want to talk about this scene. Scalper Caban. I mean, I said Scalper Caban. That's not the nigga's name at all, but Scalper Caban. He is a threat. Obviously, Summers knows him too, somehow. I don't know how. Scalper's running at him saying it's been a while, huh? And he sees the dude. He knows who he is. So he's really fucking scared. I don't know how Scalper did this. Maybe it's the extreme amount of hockey that he used, right? Maybe it's the hockey. Maybe it's something else. Maybe he's found the way to apply the hockey to the enemy's wound. Okay, he's transferring the hockey over the wound. I don't know. We're going to find out more later, though, because the chapter does end here. Scalper slashing Summers across the chest. He lands down in the background. To be continued. Okay, we get hit with the big dawn, the doom, you know, the big sound effect. It's over. So I think Summers might just fucking die in this next chapter, unless Gonko tries to come and save him. Other than that, like, at least as far as we know, the plans or the, you know, the thing they've been trying to do to hurt the kids, that shit's been halted. Summers is here. I mean, Scalper is here. He's attacking Summers. Okay, Gonko's still around, but maybe I know a lot of people think they're thinking that we're gonna get like a fucking God Valley flashback in this next chapter. I understand why, because, you know, they're thinking, you know, the God's Knights, they were around back then. You know, we're gonna see Summers, and it might be one. We might see the whole God Valley flashback with the rest of the Holy Knights there doing their job. It might just be just like that. It also might be the continuation of this. We might see Scalper explain exactly what it is that he did. But like I was saying, Scalper being here is the sign. It's a big sign that Summers might just die this next chapter. And at the very least, like, we can say it's Haki. You know, that's the reason why Summers' hand doesn't return. It's cutting off his immortality. Maybe we'll get a deeper explanation about this, right? Maybe his immortality comes through his connection to the Abyss. And his connection to the Abyss has been severed, not just because his hand got cut off, but perhaps some like Haki, like radio waves, you know, are like he cut off his connection directly using Haki. He stifled it, you know. I don't know. Maybe the Haki's interfering with that connection, that transmission between him and the Abyss. Maybe they are connected to the Abyss in more ways than one. And that is what's providing them with their immortality. Maybe they have a sigil or some sort of curse mark on their body. Maybe it was on his hand. I don't know. We're going to find out. I feel like next chapter, there's no way. There's just no way we don't find out next chapter. There's too much going on. Oda has been giving us back-to-back good chapters this whole time. It's been pretty consistent about like what's good and all that sort of stuff. So like we know they're going to burn the library down. I wonder how the owl feels about that. That's another thing I forgot to mention. So I'm glad I have the screenshot right here. How does the owl feel about the library getting burned down? Because that's kind of a big thing, bro. It's going to ruin like a lot of things, you know. I'm sure that the owl has his own sentience, right? He's a conscious living creature with a brain and thoughts and his own will. Would he just take that shit standing? Like I'm sure he has no say, right? It's the children of Elbaf being in danger. How come he didn't leave the library to help? That's his only duty. Maybe he's not a fighter. I don't know. But maybe, hey, if somebody steps in the library and tries to set it on fire, do you think he's going to fight then? Who knows? Who knows? He could be trying to disappear the books right now before, like, you know, they actually burn it down. Who knows? So I feel like we're going to get a lot of answers from this point on. Like I said previously, the story is really kicking up from here. I feel like this is where really the ball's going to keep rolling. We might get some exposition. We might get a flashback. But the ball is going to keep rolling. We're going to just get more and more answers and new introductions of things and questions and characters from this point on. I feel like it's going to keep happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it starts settling down. Maybe they get rid of the God's Knights pretty quick. Okay, this arc is like, it might not even be that long. Okay, Elbaf might not be a full act. It might not be a full entire act. Or at least the act of Elbaf has one arc in it, okay, by the definition of those words. Like this act might have one arc in it, and this arc might be this full thing, like them trying to burn down the library, boom, bam, bop, right? It ends there, but I feel like we still have to go back to Loki. So we're going to get there's going to be an arc in the middle of this with Loki explaining and telling us everything that happened with his father in the past and why he is the way he is, basically, and why he acts the way he acts, probably. I don't know what his power is. We still don't know that outside of what his hammer does. Does he even have a devil fruit? Is his power only from the hammer? And does he himself not have a devil fruit? I wouldn't put that past his character. What if his only attribute is being the strong physical body in person that he is, like, you know, having like ancient giant's blood in his body so prominent that makes him strong, like taller than everybody. He's definitely stronger than them physically, right? So what if Loki's whole thing is that's another one of his tricks? He doesn't have any power outside of that hammer. His hammer is his only power. Like, what if he doesn't have a devil fruit at all? That's my theory on him at this point. I thought he might have one. That's why he calls himself the sun god. The sun god might just be a self-proclamation based on how much he, what's the word? Not envy, but like, you know, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Let me just say, like, how much he praises and fucking reveres the sun god, right? Like, I feel like that's his self-proclamation. It's not really any further than that. There's nothing that made him think that. Like, you know, it's like, oh, this form, this devil fruit I have, it makes me unmistakably look like the sun god. I don't think it's anything like that. The devil fruit that he killed his father over could have just been the devil fruit that resides inside of the hammer. I feel like it could have been as simple as that. Maybe he fed the devil fruit to the hammer, his hammer, because he didn't want to eat it himself so he can be weak to the sea. Who knows? Okay? That was just a little theory right there, a little speculation on his character and what he could really be trying to do behind the scenes, okay? And like what he really is behind the scenes outside of what we know. So, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I don't think I can keep talking for much longer. Like I said, I was just recently sick. I'm getting over being sick a little bit. So let me know what you think down below. I'll have another video soon, not about One Piece. It's gonna be about something. I don't know. I had a couple of videos planned. I don't know which one I'm gonna pick, but I'll do something, okay? I'm out.